Hi, this is Nathan Peterson, licensed clinician and OCD specialist. Counting as a compulsion is very common within the OCD world. Often individuals may count just to gain a feeling of just right, or yep, now I can stop. It's the feeling I was looking for. Often, this counting is done to avoid anxiety and the fear and feeling that something is wrong. We're gonna talk about why counting happens and what you're gonna do about it. And you may be wondering, what do you mean by counting, Nate? Well, let me tell you, counting can be literal counting. It can be tapping something while counting. It could be doing an action over and over and over and over again. Some may count until a certain number feels right, and the brain says, woo, you prevented that bad thing from happening, way to go. They may count in odd numbers, could be even numbers, count in fours. It literally is whatever the brain says is the way you should do it, whatever rule OCD created. Here's an example. My spouse calls me and says, hey, I'm headed home from work. I'll be home in 20 minutes. At that moment, I end the phone call. My brain says, oh shoot, I just ended that phone call the wrong way. If I don't redo it 8 times, my spouse is in real risk of crashing, and it will be my fault. So I grab my phone, I turn it on, and I turn it off, and I turn it on, and I turn it off, and I turn it on, and I turn it off. 8 times. Well, great. Well, that didn't feel right. I better do it again. Maybe I need to put the password in and then turn off the phone 8 times. So I put in the password, I turn it off. Put in the password, I turn it off. Okay, that was it. Now I feel like I've reduced this risk and my anxiety went away because I just followed the random rule my brain created. Something didn't feel right and I had to fix it. When I see my spouse walk in the house, it verifies to me that the only reason she's safe because I took action. Thank goodness. OCD tricked me into believing something that actually is untrue. I see this counting done so randomly, unplanned and out of the blue. The brain says, 37 times I need to push the J button on my keyboard. Who knows what's gonna happen? It's not worth the risk. I just know it has to be done or I won't stop thinking about it. And I'm gonna feel anxious or distressed until I do it. I can't just ignore this thing. Sometimes when someone is counting, it's actually pretty automatic. It's just something they do and they've done it for a while. For instance, some may count floor or ceiling tiles, words in a sentence, the amount of steps they're taking, how many times they dribbled a ball, how many times they passed it. It really can be anything you can think of. There's no rhyme or reason to it other than not wanting to feel uncomfortable or feel responsible for something bad happening. Someone can get triggered just because they saw a certain number, a certain color, that makes them go through this whole counting routine all over again. Maybe it only happens when I tie my shoe. Maybe it only happens when I get in the car. Maybe it only happens when I see my mom, when I get this text. People can get triggered by very specific things. And you know what we're gonna do about all this counting? Completely mess it up. And I'll show you how to do this after I talk about the sponsor NoCD. The NoCD app can help you on your journey. They offer affordable real therapy right on your device. For those looking for effective treatment, head over to www.treatmyocd.com. To treat counting OCD compulsions, we are going to use exposure and response prevention. Essentially, what we're going to do is break OCD's rules. You will be exposing yourself to the discomfort and anxiety and risk the responsibility. That responsibility that something actually is wrong and it will be your fault. So hard. So using my example of my spouse, instead of me turning on and off my phone, I'm actually going to either leave it, not engage with it anymore, and feel uncomfortable. I'm gonna make it very unsatisfying. Maybe I'm turning it off 3 times instead of 8. So 2 options. I don't engage with it whatsoever, or I mess it up. The brain is likely to freak out and say, what are you doing? Wait a second, bro. Go back, you know better. It's gonna be your fault. She's gonna crash. This is important. She's driving right now. This is important, I promise you. The anxiety's not gonna go away until you do it. So the response, yeah, man, I messed up. Maybe, maybe not. She might crash. Some people choose to agree with it, which sounds so strange, but it actually helps. Crashing, here we come. The response part is crucial. I'm essentially acting like I don't care. I'm willing to do this until my distress reduces. And if the catastrophe happens, we don't make any connection because there is no way to prove it. Somebody may have crashed their car because they crashed the car. Somebody may have not crashed their car and it had nothing to do with you. Because what will happen most likely is that the spouse will walk in the house and you've just caught your OCD red-handed and you say, you little liar. I didn't do the compulsion. And this person is okay. You little liar. And it's almost like the OCD is like, oh, okay. I know this time I was wrong, but next time, Don't risk it next time. Don't fall for it. Once the brain learns that you actually were not in danger, it will stop sending you these signals that you need to start counting. They'll start slowing down because it knows this guy, this gal, whoever, does not give into it. They just do not. What a trip. To enhance your OCD knowledge and recovery journey, make sure you watch the video on sneaky compulsions. I'm gonna put that on the screen here. You're gonna need to know it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.